There'll be things we could have done better, but there were things we did well. Some runs we worked really hard on in the offseason were big for us. We got to continue to improve in that area and be more consistent and take the lost yardage plays out of it. Those were the drive killers when we had negative runs or lost yardage plays.
Go out early. Any update on that?
Don't know much. We took him to do an MRI. It looks like an ankle. We don't know if it's a high ankle or not. In terms of that, we're getting him checked out right now.
What's going on with Dalen Everett? I saw he was suited up and played today.
Yeah, he's injured.
What can you say about Gunner Stockton's performance? He did through the air, did with his feet. Just what can you say about his performance?
Proud of Gunner. He's a great leader, great competitor. Just does it the right way. Got us out of some negative plays. Had 2 or 3 times that we could have been sacked that he escaped. He took care of the ball well. He made good decisions. He made good reads on his pulls. Continues to distribute the ball and did a nice job.
Kirby, whenever we mentioned Gunner Stockton to one of his teammates, there's always a big smile on their face. Does he make you smile like that? And what is it that he, what kind of effect does he have to make people do that?
He's a effective leader. He's a passionate leader. You get what you expect with Gunner. Like he cares about everyone, his teammates. He treats everyone the same. He leads. He's passionate about it. People say, "What does he have? Fire, passion, and energy." If you compete against him in something, he does. He's got a lot of fire, passion, and energy. I think you saw it on some of those runs. How bad he wants it and how bad he competes. I mean, there's things that you can look back on this game and he can do better and he can make some decisions, but I think everybody on the team loves the guy because he's so genuine. He's genuinely him. He's just, he is who he is. He doesn't try to put up a fake facade. He's just a worker.
Kirby, Ernest Green also left the game. I want to see what was going on there and how well you thought Bo did fill in for him.
I thought Bo filled in great. I have to watch the tape to evaluate it. Ernest was dealing with a little bit of lower body stiffness and wasn't able to go. So Bo jumped in there and did some good things.
Kirby, what did you think about getting back to some of your freshmen? Elijah Griffin had that tackle, and then Thomas Blackshear, the wide receiver, had a catch as well.
Yeah, those kids got a lot of growing up to do. I think when you look across the board, each one of them got a little taste. The wideouts got some taste. I thought Talon played an outstanding game at Gunner. He made a huge play on special teams. You know, Elias worked on the scout team all week against our defense and has gotten better, was able to make a play. I mean, I can't mention them all, but I was really proud of all those guys. And they got to get confidence, and they've got to prove in practice that they can consistently perform and execute at a high level, because I don't know whatever reason everybody wants to talk about the freshmen. I'm all for talking about them, but I want to talk about the guys that played in the first and second quarters as well.
Speaking of which, is that branch, when he came here, everybody kind of had an idea he was going to do some of the things he had to do today, but how do you think he did?
He pushed really hard. It was important to him. I think he probably was a little amped up and a little anxious, which, you know, that's one of the things that happens is you cramp up when you do that, and he ended up catching some cramps there for a little bit. But he's practiced so hard. He's embodied our FPE, and I thought it showed today. I mean, I told the team, I said, don't be surprised if he has a very explosive, great game because he practices so hard. So it becomes natural in a game when you practice the way he practiced. And I thought that showed today on some of the screens he caught, the punt returns he had, the third down conversion over the middle. He did some good things.
KJ said that he could hear you yelling when he went for that block punt, like tell him to go, go, go. Just what did you see and what was your reaction when he got it?
Yeah, I didn't know who got it out of him and Cash. I know that it was schemed for Cash or him to be free, and they worked really hard on that. Coach Benedict and his staff did an awesome job putting that together and worked really hard on it. And I was proud of KJ because he's important to KJ. He stays after practice to work on things like that. And as a leader on our team, you know, not everybody's willing to sacrifice staying after practice and doing stuff like that, and it paid off for him.
First touchdown of the year goes to Dwight Phillips. How does he go from a guy that barely made the bust in the Florida game to being one of these starting roles now?
Dwight's a great back. Dwight's a competitor. He works really hard. He's well coached. He's tough, disciplined. Like, I love Dwight. Dwight's been one of our bright lights of fall and spring. He does what he's supposed to do. He doesn't say a whole lot, works really hard, he's really fast, he enjoys football, and he continues to get better.
You rotated through a bunch of defensive players early. What was your approach as far as distributing those reps?
Not real sure. I mean, the approach is play the guys that are good enough to play. We want to lead the country in snaps over 100. So our hope is to play, 25, 30 guys if they're good enough to play. And if you can play winning football consistently, then you'll play.
Kirby, I saw a sweet moment after the game between your wife and your mom. I believe this is the first win since your dad passed away. Just what did that mean to see them and to experience that today?
Yeah, it was great. It's great anytime you get to see family after a game. We only get to do these things 12 times a year, less than that sometimes, less than that at home. So you better enjoy them. If you can't enjoy them, like, why do you play the game? And that's what I told the players, is you got to enjoy it. You got to embrace it. It was emotional for her. First game she's been to without my dad, so it was an emotional moment for her for sure.
Christian was saying he felt like defense played with a fire, passion, and energy today. How would you grade that level of enthusiasm on that side of the ball, especially?
I think that team was overmatched a little bit, but that's beyond our control. All we can measure is how hard we play. We talked about how many plays we would have, 11 hats outside the hash, and that's a measurement for us. And I know the first couple plays we had all 11 hats all the way outside the hash where the ball was, but we'll judge that by watching the tape, right? I'm not going to sit here and say that we played as hard as we could, because I don't know that. Guys got hot. I thought we got a little tired, both sides of the ball, and so did they. You're affected by that heat, and we got to do a good job be the best conditioned team.
Railen led you guys in tackles today. Where have you seen him, especially in the month of August, really develop and come along the most from where he was at the end of last?
Biggest development for him has been leadership. He's taken on a role of not being afraid to say things, hold people accountable, and he's in a room with great leadership, and Chris, Justin, and CJ, and he doesn't shy away from that. He holds himself accountable and others accountable, and I'm really proud of who Railen's becoming as a player, but probably more importantly as a man and a kid that can help us.
Nate Frazier said after the game, he asked Gunnar Stockton, he said, are you the running back or am I? So, do you look at this the way Gunnar Stockton ran today, the way you're going to use him in the future?
I think it just dictated a little bit by the defense, right? So that wasn't a called run for Gunnar. It was based on what they did. A lot of times the defense controls who runs the ball, and they attacked the back, and they took the back away, which forced Gunnar to pull it. And we got to have answers for that, because they had a guy standing there unblocked. The guy just didn't tackle him. So the idea is, if you can use the quarterback to run the ball, it adds an extra element, and it makes it harder to stop the run. You're seeing that across college football. I saw it last night last night Auburn game, Georgia Tech game. When you got a quarterback that can run, guys, it's running the ball is easier than throwing the ball. But running the ball in some conferences is harder than others. There are no free yards in football. You earn everything you get. So when you have the extra element, it certainly helps. But you got to be smart about it too.
Where do you feel like Gunnar Stockton is as a pure passer right now?
Define pure passer. What does that mean?
Just purely as a passer through the air, where do you feel like he is right now in terms of where you want him to be?
Well, it depends on how much we have to pass him. You know what I mean? Like he's really good on the run. He scrambles, makes plays, he extends plays. He does a great job navigating the pocket, understands where he has to go with the ball. Certainly think he could improve as a running quarterback, a boot and naked quarterback, a play action quarterback, and a drop back quarterback. But he distributed the ball well today, and that'll be a measure of decision making he has to do all year.
You guys had a lot of tight ends out there today. What did you see from that group, and how impactful can they be with that amount of depth, kind of keeping everybody fresh?
I'm excited about them. I want to watch and look how they played. We put some guys in position to make blocks. I saw some of those guys miss blocks. So, we got to find the best ones that do the best job, and we got to find the best personnel groupings that give us the best chance. So I judge things based on, can you break a tackle? So did anybody break a tackle? Can you block people at the point of attack? Did anybody block people at the point of attack? And if you do neither, then you're not actually benefiting us. And I'm not saying they're not, but I'm saying let's watch it and see, because we don't just call plays to run plays. We want to get the best playmakers on the field.
Talked a lot this offseason about it being a young team. What did you learn about them today?
They have energy. They have enthusiasm. They enjoy the game. You know, my probably best moment was when Thomas Blackshear caught the ball. There were 12 receivers on the sidelines celebrating that catch. We had 15 defensive linemen hugging a walk-on defensive lineman, Barlow, who's taken 1,000 snaps on the scout team and never gotten to play really in a game and make a tackle, and he made a tackle. So the connection, the energy, and the enthusiasm on the sideline of cheering for others, what we call Mudita, I thought that was the best part of the game.
What did you see from Kairen, and what do you feel like he can bring to this segment?
Kairen's consistency. He tackles well. He runs to the ball. He understands our defense. He keys in processes. But the best thing he does is thump people. He's extremely strong and physical. And in this league, you have to have safeties who can tackle.
Coach, in the past, you said that. Sorry, you said in the past that sometimes you learn more about your team in practice than you do in the game. Is this one of those weeks where you learn more about them in practice as opposed to the game?
Well, if you add up all the practices, yes. If you took them one for one, I would say the game. But 4 practices for a game, I'll take the 4 practices and find out a lot more than the one game. But one for one, I'll take the game.
Georgia's now on 32 straight home games. That's the longest active streak in the FBS right now. What makes opposing opponents so hard to play in the stadium?
Say that again?
What makes your opponent so tough to play in the stadium? Longest active home winning streak in the FBS, 32 straight games.
Really good players. I mean, it's hard to play when you have really good players. And that run you're talking about, we've had a lot of really good players. And I think playing with discipline and playing with execution really helps.
At first glance, who impressed you the most? Offense, defense, special teams?
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to measure. You know, that team was outmatched. We were better than them, but we did what we had to do, and you know, we converted some 4th downs to help loosen things up and give us some breathing room and play some guys.
What'd you say about the fans' attendance? It looked like it was kind of sparse in the second half. Did you agree with their attendance today?
Yeah, you said it. I didn't.
We have time for one more question.
Looking at today's performance, how do you feel going into Austin Peay, welcoming them next week?
Well, I'm not even thinking about. I'm thinking about how we can get better, like where we can take the parts of what we have and improve it. What are we going to do this week to get our team better while also staying healthy? And that is a fine line in college football. There's coaches that, you know, talking across the board, there's not as much depth. You know, nobody has depth. So who can survive the gauntlet without losing too many guys and playing tight football games and be able to win those football games?
Thank you, Coach.